Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dissect those confusing corporate filings. Today we are diving into a Form 8K about a biotech company and all of its changes. It's like a corporate puzzle with pieces shifting around, so let's see what it all means, shall we? This is a Form 8K, which is a current report companies file with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, when big stuff happens. Think of it as an alert system for investors so they know about important events quickly. The date of the earliest event reported is February 17th, 2025. The company we are looking at today is Zymeworks Inc., a company incorporated in Delaware. Their file number with the SEC is 001-41535, and their tax ID number is 8899146. Their main office is at 108 Patriot Drive, Suite A, Middletown, Delaware 19709. You can reach them at 302-274-8744. Zymeworks has its common stock par value $0.000001 per share, listed on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the ticker symbol ZMINE. Zymeworks is not an emerging growth company. Item 5.02 discusses changes in the company's leadership, specifically the appointment of a new director. On February 17, 2025, Oleg Nodelman was appointed to the board of directors, called the Board. The Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee, known as the Nominating Committee, recommended him. Nodelman is the founder and portfolio manager of ECOR1 Capital, a company that invests in biotech firms. He will be a Class II director, which means his term expires at the company's 2026 annual general meeting. He was also named to the Nominating Committee. Zymeworks had previously entered into a securities purchase agreement, a contract to buy company stock with investors connected to ECO1 Capital back in December 2023 and February 2024. The investors are called ECO1 collectively. This deal gave ECO1 the right to nominate someone to Zymeworks board, but that right ends on January 1st, 2026. Scott Platshon, a partner at ECO1, was previously appointed to the board on February 22, 2024, thanks to this nomination right. Nodelman's appointment wasn't because of this earlier agreement or the rights it gave ECO1. Besides the 2023 purchase agreement, there aren't any other deals or proposed deals between Nodelman or his family and Zymeworks that need to be disclosed. There's no other agreement that led to his appointment as a director. Nodelman will sign the company's standard agreement that protects directors and executives from certain legal liabilities. However, Nodelman chose to give up the cash and stock-based compensation, the money and stock he would otherwise get as payment according to Zymeworks' policy for outside directors. Now let's talk about the purchase agreement from 2023. ECO1 agreed to buy 5,086,521 pre-funded warrants. A warrant gives you the right to buy stock at a certain price. These pre-funded warrants let ECO1 purchase 5,086,521 shares of Zymeworks common stock. The price for each warrant was $9.8299, totaling about $50 million. The purchase was completed on December 28th, 2023. The warrants can be used at any time to buy shares for $0.0001 per share, though that price might change based on the warrants' terms. However, ECO1 cannot use the warrants if it would mean they own more than 19.99% of Zymeworks stock. This limit can be changed with 61 days notice, but it can never go above 19.99%. Zymeworks also signed a registration rights agreement with ECO1 on December 23rd, 2023. This means Zymeworks has to register the shares that ECO1 will get when they use the pre-funded warrants so ECO1 can sell them legally. The company had to file a registration statement for the resale of these shares by March 15th, 2024, or the day after they filed their annual report. Zymeworks filed a Form S3 ASR with the SEC on March 7th, 2024. Zymeworks has to keep the registration active until all the shares are sold or until they can be sold without needing the company to provide public information, or for 2 years after the purchase agreement date. Zymeworks will cover the costs of filing the registration. However, ECO1 is responsible for their own legal fees. If Equal1 can't sell the shares because the registration isn't active, Zymeworks will pay Equal1 a penalty of 1% of the purchase price for every 30 days. The registration is unavailable. The total penalty cannot be more than 6% of the purchase price, and the penalty for any 30-day period cannot be more than 1%. Paying these damages is Equal1's only solution for these events. Zymeworks and Equal1 also agreed to protect each other from certain liabilities related to the registration statement. A press release about Nodelman's appointment is attached to this report as Exhibit 99.1. Item 8.01 discusses other events. On February 17, 2025, Scott Platshon, who is already on the board, was appointed to the Compensation Committee effective immediately. This committee decides how much executives get paid. After these appointments, the board committees are made up as follows. The Audit Committee includes Carlos Campoy as chair, Troy M. Cox, and Derek Miller. The Compensation Committee includes Susan Mahoney as chair, Nancy Davidson, Neil Gallagher, and Scott Platshon. The Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee includes Derek Miller as chair, Carlos Campoy, Alessandra C. Zano, Oleg Nodelman, and Neil Gallagher. Finally, the Research and Development Committee includes Kelvin New as chair, Alessandra C. Zano, and Nancy Davidson. Item 9.01 lists the financial statements and exhibits included in this report. Exhibit 99.1 is the press release dated February 18th, 2025 about the director appointment. Exhibit 104 is the cover page with interactive data. Now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Zymeworks is navigating some interesting waters. On one hand, they're bringing in experienced people like Oleg Nodelman, which could bring fresh ideas and connections, especially in the biotech investing world. That's a definite plus. However, their agreement with Equal1, while providing a cash infusion, also comes with some strings attached, like the potential penalties if they can't keep the registration active. That creates some financial risk. The company direction seems to be focusing on getting capital and growing their operations, but faces the risks in the form of limitations and costs. The biotech industry is known for being volatile depending on the success of clinical trials and regulatory approvals. Zymeworks isn't immune to these factors, and their stock price could swing wildly depending on news related to their drug development pipeline. From a valuation standpoint, it's tough to give a precise price target without deep diving into their financials and drug pipeline. However, based on current market conditions and the risks mentioned, a conservative price range of $8-12 per share might be reasonable. This assumes they can successfully navigate the challenges and deliver on their clinical programs. In conclusion, I'm cautiously neutral on Zymeworks. The potential for growth is there, but so are the risks. Investors should do their own research and consider their risk tolerance before investing. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe, like, and comment below. What other companies would you like us to decode? Let us know.